Well, the True Hitch is on and it is going to work right now. I know a lot of you want to see that True Hitch do an actual tow. Today's the day and you're going to see about the most unprepared rush job of getting set up tow you're ever about to see, because I thought I'd spend the next couple days getting this thing all dialed in, but the call came in now. So it's on there. It has like the bare minimum of gear I think we're gonna need to tow the truck we gotta tow. We're just gonna go see what happens. This is it's a medium duty tow at best, really, like the very smallest end of what you should be towing with one of these. Not some big giant thing, but this is what we got. So this is what we're going towing with. And as you can see, this is out a bunch of twisty, windy dirt roads, and it's up a driveway back into somewhere that's kind of tight, which is why, even though this is a small little water truck, I couldn't just bring the sliding axle and winch it up onto the sliding axle. I haven't seen it in person. I could be able to get up into there with it, but I know I can get up into there without a trailer, so we're doing the without a trailer option. Well, we made it in here and we have found our broke down truck. Apparently it lost oil pressure. I see dripping, so sounds empty. They had their other truck in here. I think they came and emptied it out, because this is all potable water, not just normal. So hydraulic brakes, not air, meaning we do not have to run air to release brakes. That's really good. And pretty simple looking drive shaft setup, not a press in. So the one downside to the True Hitch, you can't pick this up on the underreach and then move this back and forth to rotate the drive shaft to get totally different bolts. So you just got to do it however it is sitting. So I'm going to, man, that's what I don't have is wheel chocks on this to chock the wheels. But we live in the desert, there's lots of rocks, it's fine. So I am going to completely fumble my way through this and look like I don't know what I'm doing, because I don't. I used to use a True Hitch all the time. Whew, I almost hit myself. But I have not used one in, man, almost 6 years. I mean, I screwed with it in our driveway, hooking up to the bus to kind of just show how it works. But that wasn't actually hooking up and towing something. So I'm gonna have to figure my way through this. So we need to take these out. And they go right there, because we're gonna need them again. Pull these pins, and then where's the remote? Here is the remote. Oh no, don't fall apart on me. Okay, we want to mast, retract. There we go. All right. We want to line this arrow up with the hole. And then we put this pin here. This pin here. Now we mast extend and stand it up. Now that's gonna go into that track right there. And now this is gonna slide up just a little. And we can pull these pins. Now we mast retract, and it slid down into the track where this plate is now behind those slide blocks that were right there. So if we get these and put them here like they tell you to do, and lock it in. Why is that not? There we go. You won't be able to raise this back up past the slide blocks that lock this from tilting and making it fall apart. When I was doing this all the time, I got comfortable enough with it, and what I was doing, that I would not use these because I felt like I was proficient enough not to make that mistake. I do not feel like that today. So here we go. Now we can retract the mast down, and we can fold the boom down. Mast, boom, extension legs inside of boom. That's what we're working with here. Now all that, sliding it back, unfolding it, bring it down, everything was all done with just the same two buttons back and forth. The difference was just where when we didn't have the pins in it. So now we will okay. Now we got to back this under there, which is the hard part because this is way thicker than an underreach. This truck appears to have the clearance, but being on uneven ground, if the front dips down, it kicks this up and then you hit stuff. This had a camera setup right here that's clearly old and doesn't work anymore. I really need to put a new one in there. So I'm going to back up carefully. Actually, I thought better of it. It's going to clear, but it's going to be really close, especially with that water bar there. So I'm going to pre-pick it. So in order to pre-pick, we need to extend that leg out. And extend this leg out. It wasn't doing what I wanted there for a minute. Then we will extend our boom. And watch, we're gonna pick the back of it up back here. But you see what it's doing up there. Now we gotta fix that. Thought I had a hammer, I do. And hammer that over. Hammer that over. There we go. Right, now that's up. Oh, I'm not ready for that yet. I need my wood. These two are going to be our hinges. Probably put them that way. Grab the remote. Now I'm ready for it. Now when I retract the boom, that's going to go down. Hinge there, pick the truck up. And we remove the stand so it'll go all the way down now. So we're on our hinges. Make sure that we got it by the axle. sure we're not hitting anything back here. See that tie rod back there? We want to not raise it into the tie rod. Block that tire. Block this tire. Now we can extend our boom. Just gonna set the truck on the blocks. And we can do what we did before and lift it off of these blocks that we will now use as wheel chocks back here, because this is pointed downhill. Well, now it's a smaller block. That means it's a smaller wheel chock too. Okay. We can now retract our boom to set this back down. We are going to retract those legs just so they aren't sticking out anywhere. We're gonna lower our mast and get this thing low. Now we should back under there and not worry about anything. We do have to be mindful of this very expensive water pump sticking down back here. So I'm going to slowly back up. The idea is for those tires to hit those bars before the bumper hits that. Okay, so we're going to be really close. Close is what we want. And we're not going to hit fuel tanks or air tanks, drive shafts, exhaust anything down here. I think we have more distance there than we do here, so that should work. Oh man, that worked just right. You can see all the holes down here. These are adjustable forward and back, and they just happen to be on the perfect spot. So now we can start our hookup. Now you can see if this were a truck we had to plumb air into, you'd have to think ahead a lot and have like your air, if you had to open the hood to do anything, all that has to be done before you hook to it, because then you can't. So this part, uh-oh, that's the Genesis remote control. That is definitely supposed to be with the Genesis up in Washington right now. Whoopsie. There's no ties in there. Let me go get a tie. Oh, I also need a hardware bag. Okay. All right. me go the other side just so I'm not like super all up in this thing when it comes apart, but I will thread this through here first. Luckily, all these ones are pretty accessible. Some drive shafts with the angle, it's really hard to get onto the bolt unless you rotate it to open it up. But like I said, it's not super easy with this. You have to go tie the rest of it down, get in the truck, and drive back and forth to do it, instead of just moving the under reach. Okay, it's free. Let's not lose a cap or get the bearings dirty. Oh shit! Oh, we got so lucky. It didn't land bearings in the dirt. We are good. We can tighten that thing up. That'll be easier from the other side again. Actually, these are going in the truck. All right. That went well. Good spot to put the drive shafts. Got plenty of clearance. Cool. I'm happy about that. So now this truck can't roll away because it is up against mine up there. So we take these to their next job. Actually, might not even be these ones. I didn't look at the clearance. They might work for it. We'll put them there. Now, where do we want to grab this thing that has all kinds of crap in the way? Can I get a chain through there? I can. This is going to be our spot. So we want to driver's side extend to our spot. I might need to come in just a little because of that right there. And then let's curbside extend just the same, and I gotta get another shackle for that. Boom. All right, let's get some chains. We are going to need this. It's gonna have to go over here. I mean, this part, there's so many different ways to do this part, but this is what I think I want to do on this particular truck right now, and I could be wrong. Oh, that's okay. See, that's there, and straight up this step is going to kind of screw us. But just remember, the good thing about the True Hitch is you don't have to be, this one could come out farther than that one. That's totally fine. So that's not the problem that I thought it was going to be. Okay, need not this one, not this one, Ooh, oh my gosh, that almost hit both you and me right in the face. So we're gonna take this up in here. We're gonna hook the top of the frame rail. And it's gonna go like that. Yeah. We will have to extend that some more. Right there. I need to get some more of those frame hook chains like I have in the Zacklift. They would be perfect for this. But back when I was originally running the twin, my other true hitch, because I used to own this exact true hitch years ago, but I also had its twin. Now I ran the twin and sold this one. Whatever. Back then, those fancy frame hooks didn't exist. They weren't invented yet, so we never used them. But now we have them, and we should use them. Here, come up here, over, boom. All right. Okay. Now we're going to take this, and we're going to put it here, and we're going to go get our remote that I should have with me, but I don't. This is the critical part where you can hit things. All right, we need to be where we can see both. I'm going to boom retract. So let me straighten that steering wheel just a hair before we put pressure on it. Okay. Okay, you have it now. All right. Gloves. So this is going to go up. We got to watch underneath, make sure we're not getting up into tie rod or anything. We're not getting anything over here. We're not going to push it off the blocks. We're not hitting fuel tanks. I think I want to go right there. So now we can loop this through and back up and hook it. But I have this that makes it really easy to do it like that. And I think that's what I want. And then that part will hang up later. I think I'm going to bring this in just a hair so that it pulls that away from this pump snout and doesn't put the chain on it. Now see, that's where you really got to watch when you're doing that raise of the legs, because stuff is different on each side of the truck. The exhaust is through here, these steps, all kinds of things. So we want to extend curbside. Boom. Now we'll bring this up. We got her there. So now this is where the truck gets lifted. We're going to extend the boom. I think I might need to tighten that one more link. Because that one's tight. Oh no, that one's gonna be fine. It's gonna stay off of that. Okay. Okay. How much clearance do we have? Okay, we're gonna have to get the smaller blocks. Peace. Oh man. Actually, it might clear without any. Let me see. Okay, we're clear of everything. I would like to put some small blocks in there, but I don't think I have what I want. I don't. So close. I should probably make these fit. Because what I'm concerned, let me show you. When this was up, the tie rod's a lot clearer, but this was only like that far above here, and this will bounce on the suspension. I don't want it to bounce down and hit and bend that bar. So I am going to extend this down 2 notches. 1, 2. Go to the other side. 1, 2. Now tighten them. Now come up here. And yeah, I do have clearance now. But I left the block on the other side. We'll both. Can you tell I haven't done this in a while? Because I can. Okay, look at that. Right there. Now this one's got to go all the way back to the other side. We're going to take this one and we're going to put it right there. And now we're going to extend the boom. So look, now these are extending. It's trying to do this, but it can't go down on that end because it's chained to the frame. So the only option is for this end to go up, which comes up and hits the axle and then lifts it. Okay, we're on it. We've got a ton of clearance. Okay, I'm gonna chain it, and then we need to correct all of our height issues up here that have us all tweaked. So we're making progress. I'm very happy at the moment. We are 32 minutes in. I had to look at the thing on the camera. 32 minutes in, and we're chaining down. I'll take that. Now these hooks or binders are just for the true hitch. Well, they're for all kinds of stuff. I bought them specifically for the true hitch for this right here. So it's not these that we want. The tie downs are 3/8. The lift at the back is 1/2 inch. Boom. These are my tie downs. So grab the axle inside of the spring perch, and I just barely, see if that block sticks out forward a bunch, you would hit it with the chain and be pushing it out. We're like right there. It's gonna be fine. It's close, but it's gonna be fine. And then we go under this bar, around this one, and then what the freaking heck? Why am I completely out of travel here? Okay, that's fine. We can adapt. This is gonna go there. Oh, it's because these are sucked up so short. That's why. Normally it's from this, and the binder sits right here, but this is normally farther back. But I have it really close right now. It's fine. We just hook back here, and it ain't gonna hurt anything. So. Once this gets tightened on here, I'll show you what this is doing. Okay, so by going inside of the spring perch, we are pulling outward on the truck so it can't slide that way on the blocks and the beams. And then it goes underneath this, which holds it down. So since it's down, these can't come up over this bar. So this bar is stopping it from coming forward. The chain is holding it down and this way. And then by coming around this, it keeps all this held out so that your binder's not bound up against the side of the frame here. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. How's it going? Okay, that one's done. I can now so you might be starting to see that true hitches are a total pain in the ass compared to a simple underreach like what the Zacklift has. But when it comes to heavy duty, you just can't beat them as far as weight distribution. So you can hang these chains. So you go up here. Come on, do your thing. Put our blocks away because we don't need those anymore. You could see why. Yeah, the sliding axle would definitely have been the easier way to go. Like, there's no doubt about that. Will this sit? Okay, that's probably the less likely way to fall off. Yeah, sliding axle, 14 million times easier. But, I mean, if I had to, I could get the sliding axle in here. But there'd be a lot of broken tree branches, maybe some bent stacks, a scraped up truck, and all of that I don't want to do. So we are using this. White bar means we're making progress. We're getting towards the end. I don't put it on beforehand because the freaking battery's probably dead by the time I got ready to tow. Man, I'd make so much money if I was charging by the hour with the True Hitch. But I'm not even charging these guys at all. So, good practice. There we go. You on? Oh, I know why it's not on. It's like the lights of the truck are on, it should be going. I know. This, you know, the freaking transmitter. So we're gonna pull our line out here, plug it straight into the truck. This, we go over there. Now we're gonna pull our blocks away. Okay, now it is time to level and pin the mast. So you can see we're way raked down in our fifth wheel. We don't want to be like that. So we are going to extend the mast while retracting the boom. And then our up and down is done with this. And we balance the two out to get enough clearance underneath. plus enough level. And oh man, that lined up perfectly on those holes. And then we're gonna need this dude, I believe. Yep, look at that. That goes right there. We pin it. We gotta get this pin. Look at that pin back there. Either way, we gotta go to the other side. See how much better that looks now? So we need this pin here. Oh, you gotta go. And then we set it down on the pins. And this one here, we gotta move out so it won't crush the edge. We, boom, set down on the pins. We're, might want to go up one notch higher on the mast, I think. Actually, maybe on the one notch higher on the boom. Man, that's scary. Okay. Yeah, the truck is down a little, so that's good. Oh, we got our clearance back there. Cool. Shoo, release the parking brake, and I think I did want to just move this chain. Maybe just wrap it around here so it doesn't, if it pops off, it doesn't fall to the ground. Now, parking brake is off. True hitch is set and pinned. I need to pin the back side of those, so I need to climb up there and do that. But we're done with the remote, so I can kill it. So, with all this weight on these pins, I don't think there's a chance in hell that they could back out. But we will pin them anyway. All right, just gotta make sure our end here is not going to fall down on anything. So normally you'd hook the air and electric lines from the truck up here just like a trailer. You need to tighten that fitting clearly, but since this doesn't have any air brakes or anything, we don't need that, because then they come out right here and you hook your air here to run an air up the truck, release brakes, run brakes, all that. This doesn't, it's hydraulics, so it doesn't need that. We're done. Let me see, you look down, time, just over 50 minutes, 50. And my kind of thought always was with the True Hitch, if I could hook it up in less than an hour and be ready to roll, I'm doing good. And granted, I didn't have to tie into air systems on this truck, which takes even more time. But I also took my sweet ass time trying to just remember and refigure everything and double check and move slow so I didn't make mistakes. So I'm pretty happy with my timeline here, how that went. So we do have to kill the power. Shoo, tow this thing, let's go. Okay, well that was watching someone who has no idea what they're doing hook up a True Hitch. Now we gotta wind out of this driveway. See why getting a 48-foot long sliding axle in here would have been a problem. So we are so tight on that tree right there. it so slowly. Don't hit this one right here that my bumper's headed straight for. Straight down the side of these ones over here. Missed that one. I'm trying to be as gentle as I can on their track while not running my truck into stuff either. Woo! And now we got to make that turn through there and go that way. Okay, we're on the main road. Well, the main of the dirt road, so I'm feeling good. And we got to tow this thing probably 40 minutes up the road. Once we get out to the pavement. Just gotta get out of the desert first. Well, it's the next morning and we are back home. As you can see, I didn't film dropping the thing off because one, it was just the opposite process of hooking it up, and two, it was very dark outside by the time we got there, so there wasn't much to see anyway. But everything went really good. The True Hitch itself performed awesome. The biggest hang up and slowdown in that whole deal was me just wanting to take my time to like remember all the steps and be very careful not to damage anything and screw up, because as you could see very clearly with this, compared to the Zacklift and that super simple underreach, there are a lot more steps, it is a lot more work, and you have a lot more opportunity to damage something on the truck you're towing. Like I said, with the underreach, you got to miss the front bumper and the oil pan, if there's even an oil pan in front of the axle, which some are behind. With this, you've got to miss the front bumper, the oil pan, the axle itself, fuel crossover lines if they have them, fuel tanks, air tanks, step brackets, any other accessories and attachments the truck has on the frame rail, like this water truck with pumps and hoses and lines going through. That's actually probably a good first tow with the True Hitch, because it was a much more complicated one. Even though it was a small little truck, True Hitch is designed for big trucks. The smaller they are, usually the harder they are to tow with the True Hitch. The big stuff is much easier. But we got it all done. Everything worked out really good. This thing performed awesome. I do need to get some new, much better hydraulic lines. Tighten up that one fitting right there that was dripping. And then this ram is not like dripping leak, but it is like wet at the bottom where it's seeping. So that will have to get addressed at some point. And then eventually, I think this needs to be David's next summer painting project. Because when I bought this True Hitch out of a government auction 7 years ago, and at that point it was brand new, never been used. Well, it was 10 years old, but it was a stock piece that the military had that sat in a warehouse. They bought it brand new and put it in a warehouse. Never even unfolded it, never put batteries in it, never put hydraulic fluid in it. It was completely dry, brand new, fresh out of the warehouse, still packaged up for shipping unit when I bought it. And then I went through everything of getting it all running and operating it. Did one single tow with it just to test out and make sure everything was good before I sold it, because I bought a package of 2 brand new ones out of that auction, and this is the one that I sold to a guy up here in Oregon. He did 3 tows with it the whole time he had it. So that we did last night was the 5th tow. 5, that's 5. The 5th tow this thing has ever done since it was made in 2008, I believe, is the year of this. But those 5 years of sitting on the coast, because this thing was like right on the coast, definitely took its toll on it there. And luckily this is all just surface rust, nothing down into the metal, but it would be nice to dress this thing all back up, have it looking good. whether it's back to the olive drab green or red, or actually I think gray would look the best, like the gray of the logo. To do that to kind of go with our color combo would look really good. Maybe gray with some red accents would look really nice. So either way, very good, successful first tow now that I have this true hitch back. Everything went great. We got to help out a cool local company, awesome people, and I really like doing that part, and you guys watching these videos are what makes it where I'm able to do that. So I very much thank you for that. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching. I've got to get this thing the rest of the way loaded out with gear in case it gets another call, and we'll see you next time.